He doesn't lose any time.
Yeah. Now, when Mike came out of the amateur ranks as, I guess, unofficially the winningest amateur rider of all time. I mean, these guys would ride on Wednesday afternoons in a fair race, and they'd race Saturdays and Sundays. He won so many races as an amateur that when he turned pro at the end of the 2004 year, and they were talking about believe the hype when this kid comes through, they said they expect this guy to win races and get hole shots at the pro level. He's only won 4 professional races so far, but the hole shots, they've been easy to come by. Here's our progressive hole shot replay.
And I've watched him off the gate, and it's nothing special, Jason. He just wants it and expects it and gets it. Simple as that. And Tedesco, if the race were going the other direction, he would be styling, but after a great last few motos, man, a lot of work cut out for him. And Reardon still doing a nice job of hanging on that second place. Got a little bit of a gap over his Honda teammate, not an actual teammate, but over Andrew Short. I mean, the gap's actually got a little bit wider now than it was. So it's looking like he's going to get second.
Well, Reardon actually outdueled Short in the second moto last week in California, so he's got some confidence. Short is going to have to deal with pressure from Reed, so Reed has gotten around a few of those Honda riders in front of him. He's gotten around Dietrich, who's pushed back to the number 6 spot. So now Reed ready to go after Short, but this is for 3rd place, and Chad Reed, I don't think he likes racing for 3rd. Although he might feel like he's in the lead because they can't see Reardon or Alessi right now.
There's time, though. I mean, you look up there, you see 17 minutes still to go before they get the 2-lap board. And if Chad can get a little rhythm going and keep finding smooth lines like that.
I was going to say, I think he's finding that rhythm right now. It looks good.
That, you know, once you kind of get your mind engaged into, man, that was a fast lap, and I just closed on this guy, I made an awesome pass, and, you know, you just get psyched, and you get in a zone to where you start clicking off laps like Philip Poto did at round 1 to reel in Alessi. Reed has that, he possesses that same ability to just get hot for a bit and make up time, so I don't think he's going to catch Mike, but second he can get.
Too many times, though, this year early in the Moto, Reed has struggled. The second half of the races, he's been good. He actually ran Alessi and Grant down. And the second moto of our previous race in California, the beginning laps put him in too big of a hole. And that's kind of a similar situation now. Now Reed is starting to get in that rhythm as he pressures Short for the number 3 position. Short originally out of Colorado, but moved to Texas a few years ago, not too far from here, just outside of Houston. So he's obviously comfortable on this dirt. Short really said he had to move down here to make himself stronger in the hot races. And he's dealing with some heat right now from Reed, and handling it so far.
I think more than even the temperature thing, because, you know, it just depends on the day, and if it's windy, and it is windy, it keeps it a little cooler feeling, but what Short's benefiting from, I've seen some videos of his home track, the dirt looks very familiar to him. He knows, oh, that's a slick spot. I can get on the gas there and it'll hold, but only for another lap, then it's going to get down to some hard pack. I'll have to change my line or be careful with the throttle. He knows that stuff and can you know, figure out how he's going to ride the track, how he's going to attack it, maybe a little quicker than some other guys.
Reed is attacking Short right now, but Short doing a good job taking up the good race lines. Reed's going to have to experiment a bit. Here he goes. He drifts from the outside, which leads to the inside. Is it going to work? Side by side with Short now. Scrubs it a bit over that single to get back on the ground, and it pays off. Chad Reed into the number 3 position. And how many times now have we seen, oh, bad line by Short. Was he looking for a line, or did he make a mistake and fall out of the good line?
It's just a little off right there.
Yeah.
And there's some shadows and stuff. He didn't want to follow Chad. He messed up that line. He figured out, I'm going to quit trying to fix it and just get out of it and choose another one.
All right, so Chad Reed's in 3rd. He's going to put his head down. Can he catch Reardon? Can he catch Alessi? We're halfway through. Stay with us on Speed. Welcome back. Mike Alessi leading the way here on Speed. Check out Wrecked every Thursday at 10 o'clock. Wrecked is going to be all new. Winter storm wreaks havoc on Chicago. O'Hara's left to clean up the carnage and put their own lives on the line. Wrecked, Life in the Crash Lane. Catch all new back-to-back episodes, 10 Eastern exclusively on Speed.
I think Mike's pulling probably a second a lap, Jason, just in the sand. But, you know, as fast as he is there, it hasn't been that great for him in other spots on the racetrack. And we'll take another look at that.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Good stuff.
Hit the banner earlier. Halfway through, says his mechanic, Tool Time Tim, and the mechanic for Michael Byrne, who is running an 8th right now. He's a Suzuki guy, too. Yeah, let's check this out.
Watch his right throttle front brake side hits that banner, so they're like, okay, well, we'll move that.
Get that out of there.
Here comes Mike the next lap. Comes out wide, no banner. Whoa, where's the racetrack? He knows the edges of the racetrack as good or better than anyone. I've watched him since amateur days run the very edges of the track, and you know, in some cases bordering on it. Was that cheating? You know, he was the first guy to find things like that, and so you know, you start flirting with the edge and then take away something that you were citing as, you know, to line things up, and then it's easy to jump off the track like that. Chad almost, well, about the same spot as Mike, but that's a better line and the entrance into that left right there. So it's worth it to them to cut it that close.
So here's Reardon, who's caught up to, who's in second, and Reed has caught up to Reardon, is what I meant to say. Reardon put himself on the map a couple of years ago. Reed went over and raced a motocross race in his native Australia. Hadn't been there in a while, and we would have not expected it to be the Chad Reed show. But Reardon, who was the points leader in the Australian motocross series at the time, battled Reed hard, and that eventually resulted in a lot of attention on Reardon and a ride here in the U.S. The results haven't been there, but now that he switched to the 450, they certainly are. Here he is running in second, but here comes his countryman around the outside. Amazing run by Reed.
That was nice. And it's the same kind, it's not the same streak, I would think, but a similar one to where he fell in the first moto, lost the front end, and he went in even more aggressive that time. That's actually where he fell. But the same kind of a right-handed berm, he just charged it. I think a little bit more focus, a little bit more motivation, a little bit more like, man, it's time to get something going. It's 5th place and 4th and not being on the podium after the overall. That's got to go. And up into 2nd, you know, I don't think there's any way he's going to catch Alessi unless he gives it to him somehow with a mistake. But, you know, a pretty good rebound for Chad. It might put him on the box this afternoon, but he's still going to lose 3 more points to his teammate.
Yeah, and it's over 1 moto, the lead that Alessi now has over Reed in the series. So Reed needs a bad one by Alessi to get back to even and have a shot at this championship. Because like you said, as far as meeting him on the track, you pretty much know you're going to have to catch and pass Alessi every moto, because Alessi always gets the starts and always goes strong early. In Moto 1, we were calling him the rabbit. And these guys are the guys chasing him. And Mike Gossler, the mechanic for Reed, is giving him a comparison on lap times. And Alessi's actually distancing himself from Reed a little bit. It was about 22 seconds is the gap that Alessi had on Reardon. Now Reed is the man in second, and the gap is 24 seconds. So you see Reed there, the lap times, still losing a little bit to Alessi. Alessi is proving he's just as strong late in the moto as he is off the start.
Yeah, Mike he trains as hard as Carmichael ever did. I don't know if he trains as specific or as smart or whatever, but as far as volume, Mike might be winning that race.
Big battle here. You got Ricky Dietrich, who we mentioned earlier, the replacement rider. Not a full-time motocross racer, but he sure looks it right now. He is in 6th. Then you've got Jake Moss. Oh, sorry, Dietrich is 5th, Moss is 6th. And Hahn, who has had a phenomenal season so far, had a rough go of it in Moto 1 here, though. But he's been near the top 5 in every other race this year, and that's what he's gunning for now. Dietrich 5th, Moss 6th. He's in the center. And then you'll see the 3rd rider in this group is Hahn. And Hahn is out of Texas. Spent about a month or so at Carmichael's house in Florida getting ready for this series, but now he's back in Texas, and the familiar terrain just paid off because he made the move on Jake Moss.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it's just speculation, but I suppose you could probably, you know, say that Hahn has been thinking, hey, I was the next fastest Kawasaki guy. How come he got that factory bike? I think Hahn is happy with his team. It's working. You know, I talked to the team manager, and they have a good program. So I don't know that the Works bike would have made that much of a difference, but deep in the back of his mind, I would imagine that that was a question. So he'd like to beat him, that's for sure.
All right, well, he's got his shot at it. You see the clock on the top of the screen. We are 8 minutes to go before the 2-lap board comes out, and Jared Hahn revving his bike to tell the lap rider, get out of the way.
That's his version of a blue flag. Move!
Yeah, you hear
that guy heard it. It worked. He didn't lose any time.
Yeah, it worked. He got that rider there. He just basically pulled the clutch in and revved it like it was in neutral, so the rider in front moved, and now he's going to zero back in on Dietrich. That's going to be a good battle for the top 5 with Short in 4th, Reardon 3rd, Reed in 2nd, trying to run Alessi down. Kawasaki guys talking it over. Stay with us. Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship on speed. Here is Tommy Hahn working on the part-time Kawasaki rider and making the move on him. Ricky Dietrich. Dietrich, a great run. He was in 5th. But he just yielded to Hahn, so Hahn is into the top 5 of the number 48.
Yeah, an interesting battle here because Dietrich right there, who he just overtook, was the fill-in for Tim Ferry on the factory Kawasaki. Yeah, that big factory rig. Villapoto's missing from there. Ferry's out, so Yeah, why not put somebody on the bike doing a great job? And then you got Thomas Hahn right here who's had some good